Don't blink if you're flying. Oh, guess what? Guess what? We're gonna do this. I'll do a thumbnail. You're gonna see me looking at this screen a lot is because we started today a playthrough of the tower, a fourth playthrough. So I don't know what I was thinking. So that's why. Don't blink, it's your boying. We got steak from my mom and we got rice from my mom. We're doing well because I'm having a wonderful day. Today we are tasting my mom's food, but we're also celebrating 700 followers on YouTube. Now, before we start, I know that I promised you guys a KFC. I went there, I rolled the other footage. The place was closed. They closed earlier. They close at 6 usually, they close at 5. I was like, okay, that's weird. I'm gonna start eating because I'm starving. My mom made this delicious steak for me. It seems quite peppery. Quite herbal, which is nice. Okay. It's great, it's just a bit too cooked. I have my steak medium rare. So, listen, I really wanted some KFC, but you know, I'm gonna be watching this the whole time. In all actuality, I'm not in a financial state to get KFC. Am I broke? No. But I'm going to get the rent on Monday, and then it'll be a big problem. You know, I'm able to pay the rent, and that's all that matters. But at the same time, you know, so no KFC. We're still gonna have a wonderful meal, and we're still gonna be remembering ourselves for the 700 followers. One of the guys wanted mukbang. Here's a mukbang. Now, usually, I would love doing video with TikTok Live, right? Because actually, how I like celebrating stuff, I like celebrating stuff with you guys. However, we are not doing a TikTok Live for two reasons. First of all, it feels kind of bad doing a TikTok Live to celebrate a milestone on YouTube, right? I have never done a YouTube Live, but even then, it would make a little bit more sense. So yeah, I'm sorry, this is my first meal today. I'm gonna die. Oh, I made it. We made it, people. We made it. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna go home and we're gonna be upgrading. You know what? Let's upgrade attack. Okay, good. Oh, this is delicious. My mom did really good. Like I said, it's a bit too cooked for me. The quality of the meat is just so nice, I don't mind. So it's not a big deal. So, first of all, thank you guys for 700 followers. I feel bad because I want to give you guys a celebration, you know? However, priorities. And I'm going to put myself in a situation that's not okay because I'm craving KFC badly. I'm craving fried chicken badly. No, I'm just broke, you know? I mean, it sucks, but that's life. Oh, also, with the TikTok Live, I felt like I was kind of disrespecting people. Because out of the 700, one of them are from, I don't know how to say that, are not active. A lot of them are friends that I lost along the way. I'm not a good person. I feel very down today. A bit of shame, you know? But again, it's all part of the cycle. our luck is gonna turn. And then we'll be unlucky. And then we'll be lucky again. And then we'll be unlucky. Until we die. So, for that reason, I want to be. Oh, cut it. Catwoman, you're nothing. I may want to come in and pay homage to some people. Pay homage to people that influence the content, people that brought me a lot, people that I'm enjoying talking to it every single day. And when I say brought me a lot, if I had one word for the whole journey, it would be emotion. The good and the bad, the ugly and the beautiful. No? And many people, these people I lost, you know. And okay, this is because of how I act. However, my God, there's a lot of pepper. Peppercorn. You know, you still deserve a shout out. You still deserve a thank you. You guys all know that this was an escape for me. You guys all know that this was my way of having a double life that was kind of less shitty than the first one. When I have 2 arms, I have 2 legs, I was paid, I was fed. Other people have it worse than me. And here I am complaining, which is a bit embarrassing also. At the same time, if anything, it's honesty. And one thing about me is I'll always be honest. You know? So, with that being said, first of all, if you didn't make it to the list, okay, it's not because you don't matter to me. It's just because I think timing is important. And the people that I'm talking about are gonna be for timing. I'm gonna be there for I'm gonna be there for at the right time. I'm very emotional today. It's supposed to be a happy video, but I'm not here to lie to you guys. One of the first person I want to shout out is Rexy. Now Volvo. Why? It was my very first follower on Twitch. By the way, just so you guys know, it was my first follower and everything. Now, what was important with Rexy? Rexy is very meaningful to me because it was also my first collab ever. We tried Apex. There was a problem with communication. It was just for Fortnite. Rexy was also a content creator, and kind of nuts because me and Rexy started at the same time, and he knew what he wanted. He had a nice banner. He had a nice logo. He was playing the right game. He was playing Stardew Valley, and on his first month, he had 6 viewers. I'm like, oh my god, you're a legend, bro. So he modeled. Now, Rexy, we kind of lost touch because it was a lot of a relationship based on. It was a lot of a relationship based on. I wish you the best. We're gonna go together and get at the top. We're gonna help each other. But then he didn't get what he wanted. It wasn't moving it wasn't moving closer quick enough for him. And then he gave up, you know? So at the same time, totally understandable, but he was my first model to follow. And it's funny because it's again, this is all a perception, right? All a perception. The people that I was watching that could have been a role model were people that I was watching before I became a content creator. So it didn't really change my opinion about them. It's nice that change, right? It was the first one. Second on the list, we're talking about Mr. Lucio Wolf, the one and only. Lucio was part of my first hardest stream. So we're talking about Hollow Knight. Kind of funny because he helped me through that game and we became really close friends. And again, Lucio is this phenomenal person. This really phenomenal person that really cares about other people. And just good memories. The guy is funny, the guy's a good dude. The guy is caring. The guy works hard. Like he has not the best work condition, but he's still gonna ask you, hey, how are you? To me, that's insane. To me, that's a great person. And to me, I respect that a lot. Now, with Lucio, we're still pretty close. He's taking a more of a quiet approach to social media because it was something that he wanted to do, but figure out that he couldn't do. I still think he can. I'm gonna give him a shout out for that. Third on the list, we got the wonderful Raven. Now, Raven, it's a beautiful thing. Raven came, we met through Hollow Knight once again. We had a raid from someone. And the raid was from Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was also a good dude, but Game of Thrones was also a great dude, but it was just, there was no friendship. It was just like co-worker also. And I'm fine with that, but in my specific case, it was, and please understand, this is my perception. This is my perception. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't know. I don't pretend like I know everything. I don't even think that I know half of real life. I don't know anything about anyone and anything. So I died at 26. That's not bad. That is not bad. We're getting plus and plus and plus. Okay. So we met through Game of Thrones, and Raven was super amazing. Raven was part of the content for years, and she was such a good person. She was really a honest to goodness person. She was caring. She was a friend. She was always there. We laughed. Raven was the first big friend that I had on social media. It was kind of crazy because my God, me and Raven, we talk it so much that we had a guy, Amazing Ed. Amazing Ed is also on the list. He's a great dude. And I made a joke, and I told him, you can call him Edward. Now, the funny thing is, I would bully a very friendly, tease, like a bigger brother, even if we were the same age. Ed, because he didn't have a microphone. I'm like, what you gonna do, huh? You gonna tell me fuck you? You can't, no, you don't have a microphone. So I told Raven to call him Edward. And then she's like, what? And then she said short for Ed. And this is exactly the joke I wanted to do. So super close, super close. Now, Raven is once again one of my biggest regrets when it comes to content creation. Raven was part of it when it was manageable. Raven was part of it when it was an obsession. When it became an obsession, I just didn't have time for friends. And we were friends more than, she was more a friend than a fan. A friend than a fan. So when I start neglecting her, because I did neglect her, I have my call nearby. Might as well look good for this celebration. And yeah, I treat her like shit. And again, I think the 700 is so different. Yes, we're celebrating, but the 700 is the very first time where I was like, okay, Ink, maybe you reach your maximum, maybe you reach your peak, maybe you reach what the whole thing you can do. And if that's happening, that's happening. And if it's not happening, it's not happening. You know? And yeah, so Raven, I lost her because I didn't treat her as a good friend. I remember she was like, she gave me a birthday gift with a Fortnite skin. And then she was like, "Hey, this is my birthday," and I was like, "The heck? You don't give gifts to people. You don't give gifts to people, and expect something in return." But she was already seeing that I wasn't as present for her. I wasn't as much of a friend to her as I was, and she started seeing that I was kind of more interested in making content than being her friend, which I'm gonna be honest was the case. Now, do I regret it? Yes, but at the same time, you guys know me. You know I'm obsessed with this, so there's a kind of control, right? So the 700, I'm so sorry, ADHD. Is the first time I've seen like a peak. So it's the first time I'm like, okay, I might not reach this. When I was from 500 to 600, not to brag, but we went from 300 to 600, and I want to say like a year, which is good because in 2 years we reached 130. So it's like, okay, well, I'm at some 700. I really had a slow. I'm like, ugh, you know. And it's kind of sucky because Raven never saw the TikTok side of the thing. She never saw the more social. She never saw the community build up, which was kind of crappy, but at the same time, super understandable. And what I appreciate about Raven is there was a guy that was pretty toxic in my streams. I'm not gonna name who because it doesn't matter. But she was the first one to talk to me and say, "Hey, this guy is creepy and it's being a problem for your streams." So again, a first friend that is able to tell you, "Hey, you're fucking up. Hey, you're not being a good person." And I think that is a nice thing. Then we have Amazing Ed. Now, Amazing Ed is amazing. We start talking to each other on Instagram. I like a couple of my posts. Amazing Ed and I had a lot in commons. We're both nerd, but pretending like we're not nerd. We both grew up on Linkin Park, on Eminem. We both grew up in the 90s. We had so much in common. And Ed was a really, really, really good dude. And we became friends very fast. And Ed was also one of the people that I collab a lot on Fortnite. See, this is a whole story of collabing. Raven, Rexy, Amazing Ed. They're all a collab. And it was really, 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 really nice. And I forgot that Korean. Shit. Amazing Ed was. This is all in memory, so this is hard. This is 4 years ago. And everything, we became really close. We became really, really nice. It was super nice. And this guy was an artist. He was a rapper, and he was a content creator. So it was also kind of the same case as Rexy, but it was more so like, yo, we'll get there together. Versus, hey, we're kind of working towards the same aim, and we can help each other. With Ed, it was a friendship there. And then this is insane, but me and Ed. We were friends for a year. Ed used his prime on me, and it was kind of a. These are kind of, oh my god, you realize that you wronged so many people, you know. But I think this is also about coming clean, you know. It's about celebrating the new, turning the page, but also acknowledging the page backward. Amazing Ed, he was using his prime on me, and he used it for 12 months. He chose Elden Ring because I want to make him happy, and it was my favorite game. So I'm like, holy crap! And if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have played Elden Ring, or I would have played it as much as I did. So what happened is he started talking to me only to promote his stuff. I would talk to him. He would leave me on read, not answer. You would. It was really much becoming kind of more professional than friendship. Now, I was mad at that because I was like, dude, if you're not being a friend, I'm not gonna be a friend. But then I did the same thing with Raven, and this is the craziest thing. And girlfriend was pregnant, so Ed was freaking out because he was gonna have a baby, and he wasn't paying the bills with his career. So like, make it or break it right now. And the craziest thing that happened was we are going through the same thing last year now. This has to pay the bill, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to do it anymore. So he just went through it before I did, but it was the very same emotion. You know, last year I was a dick to a lot of people because again I was so busy. People that wanted to be my friend, I was like, no, I need to work. You know, and do I regret that? No, because I feel like it's pretty normal. I feel like sometimes you have to put yourself first, but at the same time, I feel like you have to put yourself first if you're not endangering people. Fourth playthrough. This playthrough is 4 hours old. I'm not gonna be able to do the tournament tonight, so yeah. So like what I was saying else. Okay, we're good, we're good. We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. It's nerve wracking. I'm not gonna die here. Oh, we died. Oh well, c'est la vie. I love the tower. Ford playthrough. This one is a free to play. So next on the list we have Daiko Irian. Daiko Irian is again one of my big regrets. One of my big regrets as a content creator, because Daiko Irian was again a person from. He had a similar. We were in the same age group, the same age. We're the same age, and he saw me playing Kingdom Hearts. So if you were born in the '90s, you know how important Kingdom Hearts was. Kingdom Hearts was super, super, super important. And I gotta say, if I wasn't king for Kingdom Hearts, I got a tattoo. So, this is hard to show, but here it is. Great tattoo. So he came in and he was like, "Hey." He was like, "Hey, it's a shame. You're a good content creator. You're playing some good games. I got a group of friends on Instagram, and we support each other." I'm like, "Okay, that's a good idea." At the end, it was just a bunch of people looking out for themselves, you know, and that was pretty much it. So it was kind of like it didn't work. Daiko Irian was also a great dude because he helped me a lot. He was giving me a lot of advice. He was a graphic designer, so he gave me a lot of advice. So why did we stop being friends? He came to me and said he wasn't sure about making content anymore. He didn't feel fulfilled. And I'm like, dude, you have to work hard, you have to work hard, you have to work hard. And you gotta get it. I didn't listen to his problem. I gave him advice before I listened to his problem. That steak was full of pepper. And again, it seems like I'm complaining, but this is just making amends. Making amends. And I feel like I wasn't there for him the way he was there for me. And because of that, he gave up making content, and he gave up Instagram, he gave up everything. He gave up everything. He came back years later, but it wasn't the same. He was like, there's no passion anymore. It is a shame because he was a good dude. French guy, super nice. Next on this, we have Cappy. Cappy was also a huge, humongous part of my life. Cappy was this incredible person that, it's funny because, at that time I'm also meeting RG Baby. So there are two women from the UK. RG is part of the list, but RG is a bit different because RG Baby is a phenomenal person, but we never connected on a professional level. We connected on a personal level. So it was amazing. It was really, really, really good. And RG is, once again, is a person that I get to be crazy with. And it's just a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful thing. And it's just an amazing thing. You get to be yourself. You get to be weird. And they don't judge you because they're weird themselves. Same for Lily. Lily is supposed to come in way later. RG I still talk to. Lily. Same freaking thing. Lily. Such a good person. A person that's putting themselves first. A really goodness to honest person. See, Ollie and Lily are important to me because they allow me to be myself. I can be crazy with Lily. For example, I say, hey, I'm in jail, pay my bond. I say, hey, I'm also in jail, can I be your roommate? So you know what, we'll joke around with that. She's super cool. And again, she's a content creator, and the thing with Lily is like she'll be part of a group and she has to promote people because they promote her. And I'm like, dude, if she knew that those people, the second you stop promoting them, they'll give you up. Right? But if she wants to believe in the goodness of humanity, she should be able to. Who am I to tell her, no, that's wrong? Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I'm not God. I'm not all-knowing, right? So with these two, and even Holly, she's dealing with PCO, I think, or POS. POS, and it's a hormonal problem, and mental health is a bit fragile, right? So she constantly wants to do content creating, but with the fragile mental health, it's not a good place. Social media is toxic, you know. It takes a tough hide. It takes a tough skin. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it if you have a certain illness, but I'm saying take care of yourself first, you know, and then think about other people. So yeah, so these two. There was also Cappy. Finishing with Cappy. Cappy was this amazing person. Cappy was also a super cool person, super kind, funny, got along just well. We made some joke. It was really funny. Gabby was able to talk to me on a more private level. Like when I was fucking up, she would say, come back to reality, you know? Even even then, you guys know that my sister is dead, so I'm gonna be very affectionate towards women because, again, I got sister issues, which is weird, but like, hey, I got a boyfriend. Remember that. And a lot of the women that I'm talking to, and it's not about friends or just women in general. There's this girl, right, and I was following her, and she's really funny. She's really funny. She's a SW. She's a sex worker. However, she'll pop in jokes. Like, for example, she'll do like, if I was a hobbit, this is what I would do, which is a reference to Lord of the Rings. She's really quirky and super sweet. And then, surprise, a lot of people saw it. I follow her on. Okay, this is a bit of creepy, but follow her on Instagram. I follow her on X. On X, she's posting every day some suggestive picture, never nude, always suggestive. And on Instagram, she has two accounts, a private account and an account that is for her work, which is totally normal. I wish I had an account for Stefan. And it was another friend that showed a picture of the wedding. So this person completely had the fact that it was wedding. So with Cappy, I do appreciate that because she's a pretty woman, and a lot of women would use her charm to, get popular, which is okay. And Cappy was just there. See, with Cappy, it was always a case of, you need some space, I'll give you space, and I know you'll come back, With Cappy, I was a douche. I was getting a lot of hate, and she was protecting me. She was getting a lot of hate, and I didn't protect her. Even though I knew some of those haters came from my channel, they came from. So what exactly happened is, Cappy started making content, and Cappy started making content. And I was like, holy shit, this is so good. And then she gave up because she said it was toxic and stuff like that. But every time we talk, she'd say, hey, I miss making content. I started last week with 22 viewers doing a charity event, which was amazing. And it was a really good stream too. So I started getting a lot of hate because my channel, TikTok, was growing a lot. It was a specific hater that came to me, and he was very, very vile. But again, the comments were pushing the algorithm. And again, the reason why I made content was because I was getting bullied at work. Now, in my head, I was like, this is your chance. This is your chance to show that you're not gonna bully me. No, you're not gonna bully me. I will stop you right there, here and then. So this was my chance, but I should have just blocked it, because when he saw that he couldn't get to me, he was getting to my followers. And then she started getting a lot of hate. And I was in depression, so I wasn't defending her. But also I was aware of the hate, and I was aware of the account because I recognized them, of course. And I could have helped her, so, and yeah, that's what happened. Next on the list, we're moving forward a lot. Janice also is quintessential to the channel. Janice was the right person at the right time. We were going through something that was very similar. He was going through depression. I was going through depression. I was using Pokemon Go for losing weight. He was using Pokemon Go for losing weight. Just a good person. He was funny. He liked Pokemon. He liked Yu-Gi-Oh. He liked Digimon. I like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Digimon not so much because I never got into it. Maybe if I get into it, maybe then, who knows? And Janice is such a good person, because we along well. It was the right person at the right time, moving forward with me. When I was improving, I felt like he was improving. He would come to me, it's like, yo, I did this, today I cleaned the apartment. Which is so, well, it's room, because it doesn't live in an apartment. It's so stupid, but at the same time, I know what he's going through. And I'll do a video of cleaning the apartment because I'm proud of myself. I'm like, you know what, you're not doing so great. You're still managing to clean the apartment and keep it clean, When it comes to that, it's a beautiful thing. It's a really, really, really beautiful thing, and we're still friends. Which is there was some fighting, yeah. I did a video and he thought it was about him when it wasn't, and I took it personal. But rewatching the video, a lot of what I said could have also been about him. So I understand totally where he was coming from, and for that I apologize. And first of all, me venting about somebody in particular should not have happened. I shouldn't have vented about people. I should have kept it private. That's my fault, right? So yes, with Janice, it's such an amazing human being, and it's a close friendship, and it's still really part of the content. And then you also talk about making content sometime, and it's a bit harder for him because he I wish he had a little bit more self what you call it self not value. He had a better sense of his self worth. I am worth something. I am the best. I am the greatest. I saw my father yesterday, and there's a guy, and this is a true story. I'm not saying this is Janice. If please understand, I'm not saying like this is Janice. There's been a guy, and this guy, I know him. I know him personally. So what happened is, he was a really good. He was a really good guy, and he started playing basketball, and it wasn't professional, but he was one. So you guys know the Sheen, right? There's a park next to where I live, or near where I live, where there's a basketball court. He wasn't playing professionally, but he was one of the best. And he would spend his day. It was his passion. He would say, "Hey, 1v1 me," you know. And then eventually he started gambling, and he started saying, "Hey, let's put some money on it." And when he would win, he would pay. He would get paid, and when he would lose, he would pay. He was actually really honest about that. I never heard something about he owed money. And then eventually, what happened is he started doing hard drugs, and he had a OD. Thankfully, the OD happened in the park, so they was able to rescue him. However, his brain lacked oxygen, and if you see him right now, he's a bit mentally challenged, right? And that's sad. I saw him after years yesterday for the first time, and it was insane. It was insane because he was in the streets, and he had his basketball, and he was dribbling it, and I saying, "Oh, I'm the champ. I'm the best." And when you know the story behind it, you say it's sad. But instead, I was like, holy shit, this guy has a better self-esteem. Self-esteem. Okay. Self-esteem that I do. This guy thinks about himself higher than what I do. This guy is battling demons more than I do, and he's not complaining. What's wrong with me, dude? You know? And it was something that I should have implemented, you know? So to me, this was brilliant. So yeah, with Janice, it's just a amazing friendship, and of course, there's time where we're more talking to each other. There's time where we're less talking about each other. So that's fine, and still a really good friend. Now we're aiming towards the end. Last one on the list is of course, drumroll please. Oh my God, sorry. There's Samantha. Samantha also. Samantha, who is Sammy72, just a sensational person. Sammy. The reason why I didn't mention her before is it's quite personal, but since we're airing my mistake out, since we're doing something that is not what I did that was not cool, it's totally normal that I did that. Samantha was a really good person. Samantha was also a content creator, and it was such a shitty thing because she's a gorgeous woman, first of all, and she was a content creator, and most people would comment on her body, comment on how she looked versus who she was, and that's kind of shitty. But Samantha was a really good person. Samantha also was super chill. See, I had a crush on Samantha, so she was the first person that kind of kept me. So this is a crazy story. I would go to work, would get bullied. I would make some content, and I would come back and after making some content, I would spend 40 minutes with Samantha. Samantha became the person that I was talking to the most. She was amazing. She was super supportive. Was able to talk about her struggle. I was able to talk about my struggle. Very understanding of each other. Almost taking each other's news from each other almost to the daily. Then of course, I'm a douchebag, so I started writing sex story and on Wattpad, and I started sending it to her, and it kind of became flirtatious. And then she had a boyfriend, but the boyfriend, you know, she said that there was no ring on it, and she kind of pushed him to put a ring on it, but she would have never done anything. She would have never done anything. I think it was more so a case of, look, there's people in my DMs, like, so if you don't put a ring on it, I'm not gonna wait forever. And a lot of people do that, and it's not necessarily an ultimatum. It's more so like, yo, I'm a pearl, I'm a freaking gem, I'm a find. You have to realize that. And so we kind of lost touch because she stopped making content, and Again, with her content, it was more so very demeaning. She was playing CS:GO. It was kind of a toxic community, and she was getting things like "Yo, go make me a sandwich," some disgusting thing, and she would take it personal because she's a good person. She has a big heart. She has a big old heart. And then next thing I know, she was married. So we kind of started talking again, and she was married now, and I kind of went for this. Just like, no, bro, I got a husband now, and I kind of crossed the line that she shouldn't cross. Now, ultimately speaking, this line was crossed before, but she was not a married woman, so I should have respected that. But Sammy was super nice. Sammy was a freaking gem. Sammy was. She was from New York. I would make fun of her accent, and she was like down with. She was super down. So, a really good person. Now, the last person is, of course, drumroll please. Oh my God, there's so many. I'm gonna put a lot of people in the same category. Reason as to why is because it's so hard to differentiate them for obvious reasons. So I'm gonna do Rim, I'm gonna do Ad, I'm gonna do Iba, I'm gonna do Huda, I'm gonna be Yusuf, I'm gonna do Uda too and Iba too. The reason why I'm putting them all in the category is because last year I was this is possibly my biggest flex ever. 700 followers doesn't matter. This is my biggest flex ever. My biggest flex ever is the fact that Rim came in, and Rim was a super good person, super good person, and it was it was a really good time. And the next day, she's like, "Oh, I posted you my story." She came with what? A lot of her friends. Now, truth is, I was starting to make content. I was starting to do TikTok live, so she brought me my first community, which was amazing, and it was just some good time. And then with Rim, it was from day one. With Ad she became kind of like we kind of became really close because she was the nerd that like anime. I was the nerd that like anime. So and yeah, it was just so cool. And later on, I learned that like these guys did so much for me. I kept saying thank you, and then one of them told me that they've lost a friend because they live in Morocco and they lost a friend too. I'm not gonna say why for respect for the person, but they lost a friend. And yeah, so they lost a friend and they needed a relief, and I was the relief, and it's such a flex. It's such a flex. And then their mourning was done. They went back to school, and now they're thriving, and it's so cool to see. It's so good to see. So, wishing them the best. Also, see, you guys. I've been talking about people and how much they meant to me, and why I lost them. And in most cases, I'm guilty, right? But it's not. It's remembering the people. It's remembering the moments. Everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. You know, nothing lasts forever. And of course, the last one is Anna Marie. Of course, because Anna Marie. See, there's something very special about my relationship with Anna. There's something that's very special with my relationship with Anna is the fact that she isn't gonna stick around. if I if I don't treat her right, she won't stick around. There's a lot of people that can treat like shit. Do I do it? No, but I know I could. You just know people you could treat like shit, and you could do a joke. Like for example, there's Tay. I joke a lot with her, but because she can take it, and most of the time she'll joke back. So kind of cool. It's like kind of like a brother sister chemistry. With Anna is this is a really good friend, and this is a really good friend in your personal life also. But this is your chance to not be an asshole. You ruin so many friendship that don't ruin this one. And there's also the fact that she's also kind of like a content creator. She creates content. She'll take breaks, but she wants to do more live, and that's amazing. And then she'll come to me and it's like, yo, you didn't go live today. What happened? And then she'll come to me and what's this? This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. She came to me once and she said, sorry, I didn't go live today. And I'm like, I understand, things happen. And then she's like, yeah, but you went live today. And I'm like, so? Well, she wanted to be consistent, so because I was consistent. And it was also the fact that I want to make sure that you're consistent, and you have to make sure that I'm consistent. It's like give and give, which is great. Most of the people that I'm talking about are younger than me. So Anna being my age is more mature, so it's a bit more, oh my god, I kind of want to say that. over the last 4 years of making content, I've met people. I've met some romantically interested people, and they were younger than me. And then this winter, I met a girl that was my age, and she was very demanding. And I was like, what the heck? Why are you so demanding? And I'm like, okay, well, she knows what she wants, you know. So I think that's super cool. Like I said, there's a lot of people that I'm not gonna mention. Some of you guys I do really care about, but some of you guys, even though you did a lot for me, there's a part of, for example, I got a mod or an ex mod, who I know was kind of using me. When my views started to go down, this person disappeared. So I'm like, okay, well, I know what you were looking for, you know, and it's about that. But during those 4 years, those people that, and the reason why I talk about these people in my life or not, friends or not, the reason why I talk about these people is I want to showcase the amount of love, the amount of respect I had, the amount of very, very genuine people, very helpful people. I am where I am not because I'm great. I am where I am because of the people that I have in my life. I am who I am because of the motivation, which is seeing you guys every single day. You know, I don't have much of a social life, but the social life that I have is amazing, and it's just great. It is just great. Last 4 years, 700. Let's with these people. Let's do a quick rundown of the moments that we have that are amazing. First of all, my face reveal. So my face reveal was super important to me. Was making content. So at first, making content, I'm gonna be completely honest. When I started streaming, it was so weird. It was weird because it didn't feel like I was streaming. It didn't feel like I was streaming. I know what you're saying. Ink, that doesn't make any sense. I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't. But it makes sense in the sense of I was playing a game and I was recording it. And the first person that came up, once again, is Rexy. He came after, I think it was 3 weeks or a month. So before that, I never had a person that followed me. I got a couple people in my stream, but they were trolls, you know. My very first stream, Pokemon Silver, someone would say, "You sound gay." I was like, bro, that's my first stream. He doesn't care. Then I started having this community, and they were really helpful. The fact that people came to me, you know, that was amazing. And I did a face reveal to be, and it's gonna be sounding so stupid, but I don't care. This is my celebration video. I don't care anymore. The celebration itself was so special because to me this was a bungee jump. This was skydiving. I was very embarrassed. I was very shy, and it was hard to believe, but self-conscious also, self-conscious. And I'm using this as my face reveal was my community, right? That was just great. I remember my 100 followers on YouTube, and I just got over a fight with a person that says your content is shit, and I had gotten into a fight with a friend or a fake friend, whatever, and he was giving me shit because I didn't go to his live, and I'm like, he's like, oh, I went to your live 2 weeks ago, and you haven't came back to say hi. I'm like, you're still holding on to that after 2 weeks. Something's wrong with you. He said, don't worry, you'll never be at my level. Yeah, true story. And that happened the day before or the day of when I got 100 followers. Yeah. And we made a video, which my first video outside, which was creating Ink Vendetta, which was a mess, but still very funny. Another great moment was breaking my leg. I started making content in May 2021. July 2021, I didn't break my leg. I microfractured my ankle. Let's be politically correct here, please. I microfractured my ankle. So because I microfractured my ankle, oh my god. Okay, we're good. You see there's a line here. That was a crack in the screen. No, it's the light. If I do like that, there's no, haha. Light reflector. The creating Invera. The next one. Wait, I broke my leg, and this was great because this was the first time when I got to make content. So I was streaming and I was getting people, and it was so nice because I didn't know what to do. I started playing Fortnite, which became very interactive with you guys. I started playing Dead Cell, which was amazing. I played Hollow Knight, which was a reason for meeting a lot of you guys. It was just great. It was great. And again, with the leg, the problem was I'm gonna be stuck here for 6 weeks. Might as well make content, right? And we played Tiny Tina, which wasn't great. Sorry. The second moment, and again, this is not positive, but the third moment of greatness was what was it? People coming in my life, my real life, me being aware of it. My mom and my dad. My mom and dad, I didn't mention it because again, my mom, if we had to talk, it's gonna pay the bills. My parents are more okay, somewhat, with the idea that I make content, but it's from a side of our son's gonna make content because he likes doing it, not because it's a job. It's a hobby. He likes a hobby. Let's do this hobby. Let him do what he wants. It's a hobby. It's not. He's not hurting anybody. So it's like that. But I'm like, no, Dad, no, it's more than that. My mom, who says, I know that you like doing this, but it's not gonna pay the bills. Now, maybe it will, Mom. But she's right. It's not paying the bills right now. At that point, she's right. I started talking about it in real life. You see, Ing Vendetta was a big secret. Ing Vendetta was this guy that you weren't supposed to know. You're not supposed to know that I make content. We just reached 1K coin. However, we're not gonna be able to do the tournament. Forget about it. Forget about it. What I'm gonna do Elfrichen. Yep, Elfrichen's gonna be good. Elfrichen's gonna be good. Perfect. Oh, you know what? May have something more. Yeah, because I'm gonna have to do the simple thing. All the small thing, truth care, truth brings. I'll take one list. You're right, best trips always. I'll know you'll be at my show. And that's pretty much it. The third moment was being at work and saying, hey, I'm filming video. Trying to film video at work, starting to film video in real life. I did a face review, but then for 6 months I didn't show myself, so I started doing food review, started doing videos. It was just a way to connect with you guys. It was putting myself out there, making the extra effort, which was great, which was really, really good. I have to hurry because I have to hurry. Next on the list is super simple. This is what I would say, losing my job and how much fun I had last year. Just making content and making content and making content and making content and making content. And it was amazing. And it was so meaningful because I was making content after content, and I knew it was gonna take some time, but I was motivated and I finally had the time and the experience. See, I would have started making content when I started. I would have went full time. I would have been a mess. I was forced to wait for 2 years, and waiting for 2 years was possibly the best thing that ever happened to me. And then that same winter, it was the social life. I was getting 20 comments, 25 comments, 30 comments a day, and I was answering all of them. So it was kind of nice because during the winter, it was my first winter where I did nothing. It was my first winter as a content creator that I did nothing. And it felt kind of lonely. It felt super lonely. So connecting with you guys was super, 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 super important. Super important. And nowadays, there's still a feeling where I have this community. I have you guys that love me, and I love you guys back. And this is the last good moments. So here for the 700, bit of a different video, bit of a negative video, but at the same time I didn't think I was gonna get there. Because I'm getting there. I'm like, okay, I'll never think about going back to 700 again. Here's to 800, here's to 900, here's to 1,000, and so forth until we die. Yeah, pretty somber, but it is true. I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.